Hello and welcome to this Core Animator design tutorial. In this one we're going to be talking about this plane project that we've created using a series of 4 Core Animator projects. Let's just take a look at the game running. It's basically a full game. I'll just kind of list some of the animations as they come by. So we've got these ducks flapping their wings. We've got the guns firing when you tap and move around. You got the explosion animation when the ducks get hit. And as a duck, if you miss a duck, it goes off the edge, you get this animation -1, and you get this little animation up here. And he ejects and the plane explodes if you miss 3 in a row. So one thing we're going to be talking about is we can see these clouds come in, and they come in blurred and in front of the airplane. And then as they go past the airplane, they get sorted behind the airplane. So we're going to be talking about changing the Z order to make that effect work. We're also going to be talking about this flapping sequence, how we get the wings to kind of swap out image sources. So let's go ahead and quit that. And go ahead and look at our Core Animator projects and see what we've got going on. This is the kind of the heart indicator up at the top. Nothing very unique going on there, so we'll just leave at that one and this one for you to look at. Just pretty straightforward animations there. But what I want to talk about is the duck flapping sequence a little bit. So here we have our duck set up. And in this initial state, we've got let's see, we've got a wing L and a wing R. And we have its image source assigned to this image. We've also imported some other wing images you can see, and I have them in a folder that's kind of hidden. Opacity is turned down, but you can see those other wing images. Let's keep those hidden for now. So we've made a flapping animation. Let's go ahead and go in there and expand our timeline a little bit. So we have our duck, we have the wing L and the wing R, and the only thing we have as far as properties animated are the rotation and the image source. So this is a really convenient way to only animate the rotation once. So we've got down, pause, and then rotates back up. And as that's happening, we have the image source, the image contents changing as they go. Let's go ahead and delete that row and see what it looks like without. So on the left side, we see that it's just the one wing that stays the same. And then down here we can see what it looks like with the image source swapping out. So we can go ahead and do that again. So look, we want to put our playhead at 0.25 seconds and then go ahead and come into the image source and select a new one, and we can see that that instantly gets made as an instant change keyframe. I do want to have at 0 seconds, I do want to make an explicit keyframe so that when we loop back we'll get that same value. Then let's go out here to 0.5 seconds and get that downturned wing. It looks like we're out to 0.9 seconds where we get the bent wing. Oops, so we missed. Looks like we'd have to zoom in a little bit more to get that. So we'll zoom in our timeline, see where that's snapping to. Okay, and then let's go up to here. And we've got our straight wing back. And we just need to have one more, because if we loop at that point, we'll be looping at the wrong time, so we need to stamp one more duplicate keyframe out there. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So when we're animating image sources, a couple things to note is they are restricted to instantaneous keyframes only. If you do the tween, it won't actually do anything. It should be restricted to just instantaneous, even though this is set to linear as the next. And that's just a limitation that we're working with right now. There's also, you're not restricted to images that have been imported into the project. That's all you'll find in this list, but you can obviously hit browse and look through your file system for any image that you want to swap out for. So that's animating image contents, pretty straightforward, and a pretty good result for that type of a situation. So let's go ahead and close that. Let's open up the plane and talk a little bit about animating the Z ordering. So we have, in this example, we've got clouds that are going to animate starting in front of the airplane, and then right there they'll animate behind the airplane. And we've got another one here doing the same thing, just kind of at a different interval. So animating the Z order is also pretty straightforward. There is some limitations in how you can do that. So we're going to talk about those. Let's go ahead and take a look at how our project is set up. So we have our cloud one here. Our cloud puffs are actually those little clouds that appear when the airplane goes through the clouds. And our second cloud is inside of this group called plane and a cloud. Now the reason we didn't just put a plane folder and then a cloud 1 and a cloud 2 is because we tried that and we came up with a conflict, and so this is one solution that that seemed to make sense. So the limitation is when you're animating Z order. Let me show you just with this example here. So cloud 2, we have it start large. Here we go. Here's cloud 2. And it comes in, and at 1.5 seconds it's going to swap Z order to be behind the airplane. Here we have the Z position. It's not going to be found in if you have cloud 2 selected, you're not going to find exactly what you want because you are going to be limited to the group, the parent level. So if I have cloud 2 selected, the only things I'm going to be able to animate the Z positions on are the items inside of that group. So when I'm doing this particular Z swap, I want to actually be selected on the plane and cloud group, and then we can see over here that my options are Z order of the items inside that particular group, which are the explosion, the cloud 2, and the plane. And if you look right here, as I scrub through the timeline, you see the clouds in front of the plane, and then right there it's behind. Let's delete that keyframe and just create that really quickly. It's as simple as putting your playhead where you want the change to happen, then coming over here and dragging the change. You can see that creates that keyframe, and we have the result we want. Now let's talk about the cloud 1 scenario. We have those are all out on just kind of the root level. They're not all inside a group together, so there's automatically a root level group called canvas where all of these root level elements will show up, and then that way we can, there's actually a bug showing up in this particular build. There shouldn't be 2 canvases, and you're probably not going to see that in your build, but we have our Z position keyframe here at 2 seconds. You can see it makes the swap at that point. And what we're doing is if we look look at what's happening as I scrub through. You've got cloud 1 is in front of plane and a cloud group. As we go past 2 seconds, it swaps to being behind. Now the reason we did those at different points and don't have cloud 1 and cloud 2 both out here at the root level is because we would get a conflict as we played them both as a looping animation at the same time. So once cloud 1 would define that kind of Z order position at that point, and then this one would come along and it would override that if they were on the same level hierarchy in the element panel. So that's how Z order position works. It will allow you to animate anything that's within the parent level. That's why it's called children Z positions, and it's accessed by simply rearranging these the order here, and it will rearrange at the playhead point, and it's pretty much that simple. And that's it for this tutorial. You can go ahead and look at all of these projects that we've set up and see how in the next video they're implemented into the game. Thanks for watching.